Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to be going over the Synastry chart between Kate Moss and Johnny Depp. So I decided to pull up their Synastry chart and to see what I came up with. I was specifically looking for abuse. And what I found was his Nessus centaur, which always has to do with abuse, trines her Mercury by 1 degree. Now, his Nessus is in the sign of Gemini, and her Mercury is in the sign of Aquarius. So this aspect, this trine, that has to do with verbal abuse because Mercury has to do with communication. And I don't see it being physical because there are no earth signs involved here. Her Astarte asteroid conjuncts his point of fortune by 3 degrees. The point of fortune in a chart, it's a circle with a cross in the middle, and it's a mini Jupiter. It magnifies whatever it touches. So in this case, her Astarte, which has to do with arguments and blow-ups and war, conjuncting his point of fortune 3 degrees, huge blow-ups and arguments. Her Apophis and Uranus conjuncts his IC by 3 degrees. Now, whatever touches your IC is really important because the IC is where your inner child lives, and it's a very important angle in a chart. Her Apophis asteroid has to do with destruction, and her Uranus conjuncting his IC, that means instability, unpredictability, erratic behavior. So what did she bring to him? Destruction, and she really shook up his world. I don't think in a good way. Now, in his natal chart, I think this is important because you're seeing this being exposed in court. His Bacchus and Pan asteroids conjuncts his midheaven by 1 degree. Bacchus and Pan are buddies. Bacchus has to do with overindulgence in alcohol, drugs, or sex, and Pan is his buddy right along there with him because Pan has the same energy as Bacchus. Think Animal House, that scene. Now, since it's conjuncting his midheaven, that means that the public will see this energy and it'll be way out in the open. Now, they're trying to label him as a narcissist. What I found in his natal chart was his Dejanira and Pollux conjuncts his north node. Dejanira is a victim asteroid, and Pollux has to do with cruel and tyrannical behavior. That conjuncting his north node means that that will be one of the themes of his life, if not mostly. I know he's an actor, but work aside, the theme of his life, victimhood, and from cruel and tyrannical behavior. Whatever touches your north node in your chart, that will be one of the themes of your life, if not the basic theme. Now, her Lacrimosa asteroid conjuncts his sun, 1 degree. Lacrimosa has to do with tears and crying. And since it conjuncts his sun, there was a lot of tears shed over this relationship ending. So I'm going to get to the planetary aspects, and I picked out a few that I thought were applicable to the situation. Her Mars squares his ascendant 3 degrees. Mars has to do with being forceful or rude and aggressive. And since it's squaring his ascendant, that's what she will bring to him. I think that she was rude and aggressive towards him. Her Pluto squares his moon by 7 degrees. In this square aspect, Pluto represents controlling behavior, obsessive or jealousy, but it also has to do with affecting the other person, the moon person, which is him, on a deep psychological level. There could be emotional blackmail, or she unconsciously triggers him emotionally and pushes his buttons, and this could be psychologically damaging to the moon person, which is him. So I don't see any physical abuse from him towards her. I don't see really, what they're saying that he pushed her down the stairs. I wasn't there, but I'm just telling you what I see in this chart. There was verbal abuse by him. There were huge blow-ups. Um, and she really shook up his world behind the scenes, and there was a lot of crying, tears and drama and when the relationship ended. So we'll see what happens when she finally takes the stand. I hope you enjoyed this interpretation, and if you're interested in hearing about more Synastry charts, hit the subscribe button, and I will be back again later.